Sometimes the smallest moments between two people can reveal more than we expect. A brief brush of the arm, a quick glance that lingers a little longer than usual, or a quiet shift in body language can carry meaning that words never fully express. Human communication is not limited to speech. In fact, much of what we feel is often revealed through subtle physical signals that appear naturally and often without conscious intention. When two people begin to feel drawn toward each other, the body often reacts before the mind fully understands what is happening. This is because emotions are processed very quickly in the brain. The emotional centers respond first, and the body reflects those reactions almost instantly. Small gestures, tiny movements, and unconscious habits can quietly signal curiosity, comfort, or growing interest. Many people overlook these signs simply because they seem so ordinary. Adjusting clothing, shifting posture, or playing with a necklace may appear like random behavior. Yet in certain moments, these actions can reflect a mixture of excitement, nervous energy, and a desire to make a positive impression. When someone suddenly becomes more aware of their appearance during a conversation, it often means the interaction matters to them more than they might openly admit. Imagine speaking with someone and noticing that she gently straightens her sleeve or smooths her hair while listening to you. Perhaps she adjusts a strap or lightly fixes her collar even though everything already looked fine. These gestures can be a natural response to feeling noticed. The body becomes slightly more alert, as if preparing itself for attention. It is a quiet, almost instinctive form of self-awareness. Another area where subtle signals sometimes appear is around the neck and collarbone. This part of the body is naturally sensitive, and when someone lightly touches it while speaking or casually plays with a necklace, it can reflect a moment of openness and comfort. These small movements are often overlooked because they seem so casual, yet they can signal that the person feels relaxed enough to reveal a softer, more natural side of themselves. Lips can also become part of these quiet signals. A gentle bite of the lip, applying lip balm slowly, or lightly touching the lips during conversation may occur when someone feels slightly nervous or intrigued. These reactions are often unconscious. The person may not even realize they are doing it. The body simply expresses a mixture of anticipation and curiosity. The key to understanding moments like these is not to rush to conclusions. Instead, it helps to remain calm and attentive. Relaxed eye contact, a friendly smile, and a steady presence create an atmosphere where both people feel comfortable. Confidence in social interactions often comes not from forcing conversation, but from simply being present and aware of the energy between two people. When someone learns to notice these subtle patterns, conversations begin to feel different. Instead of second-guessing every moment, they become more relaxed and observant. This awareness can lead to more genuine connections because it encourages patience, respect, and a deeper understanding of how human emotions naturally appear through body language. As conversations continue, the body often reveals even more about a person's emotional state. When someone begins to feel a spark of interest, small movements tend to increase. This happens because attraction can create a subtle buildup of nervous energy. The body naturally looks for ways to release that energy through movement. For example, a woman might cross and uncross her legs, lightly tap her knee, or shift her posture while talking with you. These actions are not always deliberate. They often happen automatically when emotions become more active. When someone feels completely uninterested, their body language usually appears more neutral and still. But when curiosity or attraction begins to grow, that extra emotional energy often shows itself through motion. Hair is another common outlet for this kind of energy. Twisting a strand around a finger, brushing hair back from the face, or gently tucking it behind the ear can all appear during moments of excitement or awareness. These gestures are very natural and often unconscious. Many people do them without even realizing it. In social interactions, they sometimes appear when someone wants to stay engaged in the moment, but also needs a small way to release nervous energy. Another modern behavior people sometimes notice involves the phone. A woman may pick up her phone, unlock it briefly, then lock it again without really using it. She might flip it lightly in her hand or place it down and pick it up again while the conversation continues. This behavior does not always mean boredom. In many situations, it simply reflects a moment of emotional processing. The mind is active, the feelings are present, and the hands look for something simple to do. Hands in general can reveal a lot about how someone feels internally. Someone might rub their fingertips together, twist a ring, adjust a bracelet, or trace the edge of a cup while talking. These small movements help release tension when emotions are building. They are natural stress relief behaviors that people display in many different social situations. Another interesting sign can appear through body orientation. When a person gradually turns their shoulders, knees, or feet towards someone during conversation, it often shows where their attention is focused. Our bodies tend to face the people we feel most engaged with. Even if the shift is small, the direction of the body can quietly signal growing interest and comfort. Sometimes the distance between two people also changes. A woman might lean slightly closer while listening, or move her chair a little nearer without making a big deal about it. This can happen when she feels safe and comfortable sharing personal space. Humans naturally protect their personal boundaries, so when someone allows that space to shrink, it can reflect trust and openness. Another fascinating behavior that appears in social interactions is mirroring. Mirroring happens when two people begin to subtly copy each other's movements or posture. If you lean back and a moment later she leans back as well, or if you rest your hand on the table and she soon does something similar, it may simply mean the conversation feels comfortable and synchronized. This type of unconscious imitation often appears when people feel connected and relaxed around each other. Voice can also change slightly when emotions are involved. Some people speak a little softer, while others may raise or lower their tone in a way that invites closeness. Sometimes a woman might speak just quietly enough that you naturally lean closer to hear her. These subtle shifts can create a feeling of intimacy without either person intentionally planning it. When someone begins to notice these signals, the most important response is patience. There is no need to rush the interaction or force it to become something more. Calmness, respect, and genuine interest create the best environment for connection to grow naturally. When both people feel comfortable and relaxed, conversations often become deeper and more enjoyable. In many ways, attraction grows through quiet moments rather than dramatic gestures. Small signals, relaxed laughter, and comfortable silence can all be part of that experience. Learning to notice these details does not mean analyzing every movement. Instead, it simply encourages greater awareness of how human emotions naturally appear through behavior. As two people continue spending time together, the signals of comfort and interest often become easier to notice. One of the most meaningful indicators is simple laughter. When someone laughs easily during a conversation, even at small or ordinary comments, it often reflects that they genuinely enjoy the moment. Laughter creates warmth and reduces tension, allowing both people to feel more relaxed and open. Eye contact is another powerful part of human communication. It is not only about whether someone looks at you, but also how long that gaze lasts. When a woman briefly looks into your eyes, glances away, and then looks back again, it can show curiosity and emotional engagement. In some moments, people may even glance toward another person's lips before returning their gaze to the eyes. These small shifts often happen naturally and can reveal growing awareness of the other person's presence. The eyes themselves sometimes show subtle physical changes as well. When people feel excited or interested, their pupils may expand slightly, especially in softer lighting. This reaction is controlled by the nervous system and happens automatically. It is another example of how the body often reflects emotions before words are spoken. Objects on the table or nearby can also become small outlets for nervous energy. A cup might be rotated slowly, a pen gently rolled between the fingers, or a phone lightly tapped against the table. These behaviors are not necessarily signs of distraction. Often, they simply help someone manage the energy created by an emotionally engaging conversation. Another gesture that sometimes appears is a gentle movement of the hair that reveals the neck. The neck is considered a naturally vulnerable part of the body. When someone casually exposes that area during a relaxed interaction, it may signal that they feel safe and comfortable. Trust often develops quietly through moments like these. Body direction can provide honest clues as well. People rarely think about where their feet or knees are pointing, yet these areas often reveal true attention. When someone's feet naturally angle toward you while sitting or standing, it usually means their focus is directed your way. These signals are often more genuine because they are less consciously controlled. Memory can also reflect interest. When a woman remembers a small detail you mentioned earlier, such as a favorite drink, a hobby, or something about your day, it often shows that she was paying close attention. People tend to remember details that matter to them emotionally. There can also be moments of shyness during a conversation. If she laughs and briefly looks down, or lightly covers her mouth while smiling, it may simply mean the moment felt emotionally intense or exciting. These reactions often appear when someone is feeling both happy and slightly self-conscious at the same time. Sometimes a very light and natural touch can reveal comfort as well. For example, during a friendly conversation, you might briefly touch someone's arm while making a point. If she remains relaxed and continues the interaction without pulling away, it can indicate that the closeness feels comfortable for her. Physical space and touch are deeply connected to trust, so these reactions often speak clearly. In the end, communication is much deeper than spoken language alone. Human beings constantly express feelings through posture, gestures, eye contact, and small movements. Learning to recognize these signals is not about manipulating situations or forcing attraction. Instead, it is about becoming more aware of the quiet ways people express comfort, curiosity, and emotional connection. When you slow down, stay present, and approach conversations with genuine respect, interactions often become more meaningful. Confidence grows naturally when you trust your observations and remain calm in social situations. The most authentic connections usually develop not from rehearsed lines or dramatic gestures, but from simple awareness, kindness, and the willingness to truly notice the person in front of you. With time and practice, recognizing these subtle forms of communication becomes almost instinctive. Conversations begin to feel smoother, more natural, and more enjoyable for both people. And in those quiet moments of understanding, genuine connection has the space it needs to grow.